What's up guys, Rand Razor here, the quick tech video for guys. Today we're going to do a little quick classic unboxing and quick review video on this DSLR case that I got with my Nikon D5100. Anyways, I purchased this off of eBay for, I think it was like $24 and I think it was free shipping, can't even remember. Ordered this like over a month ago, so it's been quite a while, but then again, it shipped from China with the cheapest shipping methods possible. So anyways, it's a pretty generic plain silicone case and I really hope this fits, and yeah, just it's pretty thin too, so hopefully it won't break on me or anything. But anyways, yeah, switch to the iPhone 5 cam and see what it looks like. Okay, so we switched to actually the iPad mini camera, which is HD, so hopefully the quality is just as good. But anyways, here's the case itself on the Nikon D5200. We're gonna run through all the features of it and check out all the cutouts and show you guys, how this thing works and if everything that's on the Nikon is still accessible. Anyways, take a look at the front here. You guys see there's one single large cutout for the F mount here, so you can remove and change the lenses with this case on. The button here that unlocks the lens is still accessible even though it's covered up. We can still press on it, which is, well, pretty good. Anyways, moving on to the right side of the case here, we do have the D5200 logo cutout here, which looks really nice. You can still identify the model of this camera. You also have two button covers for the flash and function button here, and they're also denoted by this, well, they're also engraved with their individual button logo. And of course, on the side here, we also have a cutout for the auxiliary ports here, so you can still access HDMI, your mic ports, and all that other stuff. Moving on to the right side of the case here, we have a cutout for the illuminator assist light. Basically, it helps with autofocusing and illuminates your subjects in a low light environment, so that's nicely cut out there. You also have a cutout here for the plastic screw hole cover, which is actually on the camera itself, and this is not really meant for anything but more or less for aesthetics. On the other side here, we have a cutout for the SD card slot. And again, it opens up without any issues, so you can remove and change your SD cards with the case on. And of course, we have cutouts for the camera strap holders here on both the left and right side. Moving on to the top of the camera here, we also have a cutout for the Nikon logo, so you can still identify this as a Nikon. There's also a single large cutout for the flasher, so if we fire up the camera, I should be able to get the flash to pop up. Alright, so I need a lens to do that, but it does pop up without any issues, and of course your stereo microphones are also exposed. There's also a cutout here for the speakerphone for those who like to play back your videos, as well as all these buttons on the top are covered up, such as your record button, info button, as well as your release mode button here. And in terms of the tactility, you still can feel a tactile feedback on them. It's a little bit mushy because it's obviously silicone covering them, but it's nice that you can still feel that you're actually pressing the button. And of course you have a cutout here for the on and off switch here, as well as the shutter button. Moving on, we also have a cutout here for the dial as well as the live view switch. And finally forgot to mention, your hot shoe cover here is also covered up. You do have to remove the included Nikon cover here so you can actually stick this on and lock it in place, which also holds the case together, and of course it also protects it. Looking at the back of the camera here, again, all your buttons on the back here are also covered up, such as your menu button, your info button, your directional pad is also covered up as well, and just like the top buttons, you still get nice tactile feedback, especially with the directional pad. You can still hear the clicking sound on them, which is good, and all the buttons are still denoted by the original look. So you have the OK button says OK, menu says menu, so all the buttons, you can still identify them even though they are being covered. There's also a cutout here for the, not sure what it's called, but it helps focus the optical viewfinder here for those of you who have bad vision or something. And of course the case is cut out all the way around the optical viewfinder, so you can. There's also a cutout for the dial here, so you can still access that without any issues. It does shift the case a little bit because you're pressing your thumbs on it, but again, there's no issues with that. And of course the biggest thing, yes, you can flip the screen out with the case on. You guys will see here the case is not affected in any way, so you can flip it around, use the LCD screen. Anyways, finally on the bottom here, you guys can see the case is pretty much wide open on the bottom here, just except for around the sides. Reason being is so you can actually put the case on, but also it allows you to gain access to your tripod mount here, as well as the battery. In terms of installing the lens, as I mentioned earlier, you can install it with the case on. Just remove your mount there. I have a 35mm lens, which is currently my only lens, unfortunately. And we just pop this part off, slide the lens on, and you're pretty much good to go. So anyways, here's what the camera looks like with everything all put together, and overall in terms of the aesthetics, it looks, well, it's black, so it does match the Nikon pretty nicely. Personal preference, I think it makes it look a little bit uglier than it originally was. Not that the camera did look ugly, but you guys get what I mean in terms of adding a case on here. But nonetheless, it's built pretty nicely, and what really amazed me about this case is that when I first initially bought it, I was not expecting a whole lot. I was expecting this case to impede some functions, maybe not allowing me to have some buttons work. But overall, every single function of this case allows the camera to work even like same way without the case on. The only gripe about this case is mainly the dowel here. It does feel a little bit finicky using it because you don't have full grip around the dowel itself. But again, it does still work, which is the main thing, and that's pretty much my only gripe. The other thing I do want to mention is that in terms of branding, there's no actual brand to the case itself. It's just some generic one I picked off of eBay. If you type in Nikon D5200 silicone case, you'll see a picture of the case and then some green background. That's the one I got. It's shipped from Hong Kong, so it's definitely some sort of generic brand. If you guys want an actual brand one, there's one called Delkin. Now, at the time, they didn't have this out at the time, or else I would have gotten Delkin, but there's retail for $34.99 plus shipping. This was around $20 free shipping, and in terms of which one's better, I can't say for sure, because I don't know if Delkin, I've never had a Delkin before, but if you want to try it, go for it. They're an actual brands, and most people are happy with this. But if you guys are interested in this particular model here, I'm pretty happy with it, and as I demonstrated, everything works on it, which is pretty awesome. In terms of whether or not you actually need something like this, for those of you who are planning on getting the Nikon D5200 or pretty much any DSLR, because a lot of companies do make these silicone covers for them, it's not like buying a case for your iPhone. It's similar, but the purpose of buying a case for your iPhone is to protect it from dropping it. If you drop a DSLR, even if you have a case on, it's not really going to protect it. For example, your lens isn't really protected, and the internals, the biggest thing being the mirror, dropping it and the vibrations that's being caused by the drop when it hits the floor can, wreck the internals of the camera, especially the mirror. So in terms of drop protection, it'll help, but it's not going to guarantee a save. But the whole point of getting this is to mainly protect the exterior body of the camera. Now, this is definitely a great idea for consumer DSLRs because their bodies are made of polycarbonate. Now, if you get the more higher-end models like the Canon 60D or the Nikon D7100 or 7000, they have magnesium alloy metal components in it. I think the 60D has some sort of glass fibers and some sort of junk in it. They're also weatherproof as well. Then a case isn't really necessary for those models because they're better suited for more rougher conditions, you could say. But in terms of the consumer line cameras like the D3200, the D5200 we have here, Canon T4i, T3i, T2i, this definitely is a great choice as it protects the body of the camera from scratching, denting, cracking, and all that sorts of stuff, just from everyday wear and tear and possible, bumps and bruises. Anyways, overall, guys, I'm pretty satisfied with my purchase of this. It was around $20, which isn't too bad. And considering all the functions of the Nikon are accessible, I'm pretty happy with this. I was not expecting a whole lot, but I'm definitely blown away by this, generic case that actually does everything pretty nicely, and everything works, and it fits the camera pretty much perfectly. In terms of any changes I'd make, there really isn't anything I'd change. Because this case adds an extra layer, it actually feels a lot more comfortable in my hand because it feels like, you have more grip with it because it is feels a little bit bigger in your hand, and also because it is silicone, you have a more stronger grip because it's, all rubber that you're holding on here. But anyways, in terms of overall usage, I'm pretty happy with it. I probably mainly use this if I take this, to parties or something, take pictures of friends, and if they want to use my camera, at least the ones I trust, then I wouldn't have to worry too much about them using it because I have this case on. But anyways, that's pretty much it for this video, guys. Hope you guys enjoyed my little quick in-depth review of the silicone armor case for the Nikon D5200. I will post the link to the listing where I bought this one from in the description below, but also consider those other brands I mentioned, mainly Delkin, and there's another one actually called Silicone Armors, but I'm not sure they have one out for the D5200 yet. But anyways, yeah, that is pretty much it for this video. Hope you guys enjoyed this. If you guys have any questions or comments about the silicone case I got from my Nikon D5200, ask away in the comment section there down below, and I will see you on the next video. Peace!